Jack had just lifted the dessert to his mouth when he noticed police officers surrounding the place outside. He quickly glanced around, and after confirming that the only other people in the store were an elderly couple and two kids at the bar, he immediately realized that the cops were there for him. Jack promptly put down the money for his meal and placed his hands flat on the table. No sooner had he done this than two officers barged in. Although dealing with them would have been a piece of cake for Jack, he chose to surrender peacefully since he had just arrived in this small town and wanted to get the lay of the land first. After being hauled back to the police station, Officer Anna tried to book him, but Jack remained tight-lipped, silently observing the station's layout. This infuriated the police chief, who threatened to teach Jack a lesson right then and there. At that moment, Detective John stepped in and invited Jack to a private meeting room. He informed Jack that a murder had taken place in the town the previous night. The victim had been shot execution-style in the back of the head with a handgun at close range. Not only had the killer picked up the shell casing, but they had also spent a long time brutally beating the corpse before carelessly covering it with a flattened cardboard sheet. As luck would have it, an eyewitness had spotted Jack walking near the body dump site that very morning. Hearing this, Jack finally broke his long silence and declared that he was not the killer. He then proceeded to clearly analyze the case, believing that three individuals were involved in this murder. The first was a skilled marksman who was cautious and meticulous, hence the use of a silencer and the retrieval of the shell casing. The second was a deranged psychopath, as only such a person would brutalize a corpse. The last was a careless coward who had tried to conceal the body with cardboard, but was so flustered that they failed to notice the victim's feet sticking out. Although the detective agreed with Jack's reasoning, he still couldn't understand why Jack had been near the body dump site. Jack promptly explained that he was just a tourist. Got off the bus at the nearby long-distance bus station to pay my respects to a blind singer who had passed away here. However, when Jack had been searched earlier, he only had a toothbrush, a medal, and $200 on him. With just these meager belongings, Jack had traveled over 800 kilometers to mourn the deceased singer. John found this suspicious and decided to lock Jack up. Fortunately, the police discovered a phone number in the victim's shoe. If this led to the real killer, it would clear Jack of any suspicion.